Hi guys, get ready with me, story time, and while I get ready for school. Basically, everyone has been wondering about neighbor boy and how he asked for my number. Basically, I was walking back from the bus stop, and then I got home and I was outside my house because I wanted to do a dance for you guys, like how I said. And then he comes up to me and then he says, "Hey, I think you're really pretty. Can I get your number?" And I'm like, because I knew he was like in either 8th grade or 7th grade, and I'm in 9th grade. And so like I was kind of because since our school is a junior high, 9th graders go to the same school as the 7th graders and 8th graders. So next year I'm going to be going to high school in 10th grade. But yeah, that's kind of funky, but whatever. And I just kind of wanted to be nice, so I said yes. Let me just tell you in advance, that was kind of a mistake. Then after he asks to get my number, he asks if I want to come over. So mind this is my house, this is his house. So it's literally so close. And I was like, I can't do that. Because I also had a baseball game. I had to cheer at like 3:30, and I also didn't really want to come over, like right after he asked for my number. And then his sibling's boyfriend was like, don't be Riz. And I was like, yeah, I can't. And he was like, oh, okay, well, maybe later today. And I was like, well, I'm kind of busy and everything. He was like, oh, okay, we'll figure it out over text. So he gave me his number because I didn't want to like give him my number and then say it wrong. And then he thought I was like a little like bad person, like annoying. And so yeah, and so then I initiated the first text. I was like, hi, this is Veronica. And then he was like, do you want to come over? And I was like, I can't, I have a baseball game. And he was like, oh yeah, sorry. I was like, no, that's fine. And then he's like, well, what about after the baseball game? So after the baseball game, I have to babysit, because I did have to babysit. He was like, oh, okay. And he was like, well, what about before that? And like before you babysit? I was like, well, I have to eat. Because like, I didn't really want to go over, so I just kept kind of making excuses. And I was like, fine, I'll go at that time, but I can only stay for a bit because then I have to go babysit. So I only stayed for like, oh, so I went over and then only stayed for like a while because I had to go babysit. But basically, me and his sister talked the entire time I was over. So he wanted to hang out in his sister's room. So we did that, and then only me and his sister talked like the whole time. So it's kind of awkward for him, I guess. And then I leave his house, and then I go babysit. Fast forward to, so I was like Wednesday, I think, and fast forward to like Thursday. He asked me if I could hang out, and I couldn't because I think I had stuff going on. And so he asked me to hang out Friday, and I also couldn't because I had a job interview, which I will update you guys if I get that job. I think I know soon, which is pretty exciting. But then he's like, hey, me and my sister's boyfriend want to go on a double date. Like, do you want to like do the double date with us? And I was like, what? Like, boy, I just met you. I don't want to just go on a date with you. But I was like, I don't know. Maybe. I was like, oh, okay. But the thing is, my friend Maggie, she texted me that this really cute guy asked her out, and we're like, oh. And so we're like freaking out, and she was like, yeah, and he wants to hang out, and we just met. And I was like, OMG. And so then I was like, wait, this guy just asked me out, and he wants to do a double date. Maybe we could do like a triple date or something, because I wanted her to like be there with me, and she wanted me to be there with them while they hung out. And so then I asked, but we didn't also really want to go to the mall because we thought that might be boring and we don't want to spend too much money. So like, hey, what if we just go watch a movie? And so then me and Maggie planned a movie thing, and then we asked him if they want to do it, and he was like, my siblings don't, but I would be down for that. And we're like, oh, okay, cool. And then Maggie's guy said yes. Okay, and then he asked me to do that on Saturday. Basically, Mr. Neighbor Boy comes over to my house around like 5:55 because Maggie said she can pick us up because we live right next to each other. And so then she comes, she's like calling me, and she's like on her way, and she's like, wait, I think my guy just canceled. And we're just sitting out there like, what? So we get to the car, and she's like, yeah, Mr. Guy just canceled. And I'm like, what the frick is wrong with him? Like, what? And so we're just like driving to the movies, and we don't know what to do. And Mr. Guy, like Maggie's date, was just saying, yeah, I'm like so tired. I just left like 100 miles, and like he told him that he was gonna do that, but then that he would still be up to go on that date. And we're like, okay, we get that you're tired, but like, can you still come? He was like, no. I'm like, okay, fine, we understand. He's like, I think I'm just gonna hang out with friends instead. Like literally like Chick-fil-A girl, like, cause like bro's literally canceling to hang out with his friends, and he told her, like, just say that you're tired and you can't. But he was like, but I can still hang out later though. And like, bro, we don't want to hang out with you later. We're literally already there. But then she was like, oh, okay. And then me and Maggie's sister were just like, literally call him. So like, he can come, because that's like so rude. He just blew you off like 5 minutes before we were at the movies. Like, and we were all supposed to meet at 6, and he blew her off at like 5:55. Like, what the heck? Like, we would all be at the movies by then. And so like, that was so stupid. He's so bad. And he's like, you can still do that. And she's like, maybe. I probably won't though, because I wouldn't even do that. Like, you cancel, and then you're just like, but you can still come hang out though. Like, what? I don't know. But so then we're like, do you guys still want to do this? And we're just like, sure. Because neighbor boy was already in the car. And so we're just like kind of still go on with it. So Maggie and her sister just came with us because I didn't want to be alone. So we go and we had to buy the tickets there because we didn't buy them online, which is good, I guess, because he literally blew us off. Neighbor boy, he's still crying and he pays for my ticket. He buys like a little popcorn, and I was like, oh, thanks. And then we go into the movies. We were watching Dune 2, and so mind it, it's like 3 hours. But I never watched it, and Maggie said it was pretty good because she's watched it before, and so we just like went to go watch it. But then neighbor boy kept trying to make moves at the movie theater, and I did not like him. And also, like, I don't know, he just like seemed too immature. And then when I asked for his age, and he's 13 and I'm 14, but he turns 14 in December. I turned 15 in June. Like, I guess like that's not a big age gap, but I think he's probably in like 7th grade, I think, or something like that. And like with school, like it's just the maturity kind of, and I don't think he's mature enough. Like, I'm not that mature either, but I don't know, like, okay. But anyways, he kept trying to like hold my hand and stuff, which I get, but like I not want him to. And so he'd be like this, like trying to like crawl my arms, like hold my hand, because I kept like pulling away. So Maggie would say something, and I'll go, what? And like pull away my hand, because I did not want to hold that guy's hand, which I felt so bad. And so then since I felt so bad later, because I was just like whispering Maggie's ear, and I was like, he keeps trying to hold my hand. She's like, yeah, I literally see, just hold his hand. And I was like, no, I don't like him. She's like, so why did you say yes? And I was like, I felt bad because he asked me on a date. And I was like, she's like, you did not have to say yes. And I was like, yeah, I shouldn't have, but yeah. But then I just kind of let him hold my hand later because I felt bad. But like, now I feel bad that I'm saying this because I don't like him. I don't like him. Once he was holding my hand, Maggie had to go to the bathroom. She's like, hey, I'm gonna go to the bathroom. I was like, wait, I need to go too. Like, let me come. I want to get out of that situation. But I also kind of had to go to the bathroom, so it wasn't completely a lie, I guess. So then me and her go, and I'm just talking about it. I'm like, girl, I'm so nervous. Like, I'm sweating balls. And literally, she was like, oh, I feel so bad for you. But also during the movie, she was like, if my date was here, I would have held his hand. I was like, literally, what? I was like, yeah, because you like him. I don't like mine. She's like, oh, yeah. Literally. But then we do like a dance in the girls' bathroom, and then I was going to post it, but then deleted. So that was kind of funny, but also sad. And some girls walked in on us, and we're like, oh. But then they walked away, so it was fine. But after that happened, we started going back. And I was like, girl, I'm so nervous. I'm going to throw up. And she's like, girl, it's okay. Like, do you want to like not go back? And I was like, no, I have to go back. It's like, we can't just blow him off like how your date did. Especially since he's already at the movies. And she's like, oh yeah, no, dare. I was like, yeah. And so then we're like walking to the movies. And also, Maggie had a blanket with her. And she was using it. And before we were holding hands, or when he kept trying to hold my hand, and then I would pull away, and then he'd grab popcorn. Like, after that, he was trying to grab popcorn. Like, bro, you can literally tell they were trying to hold my hand. Like, I let him hold my hand halfway into the movie. The movie is so long. She's like, do you guys want my blanket? And I was like, no. And I was like, wait, sure. Because then maybe he wouldn't like try to hold my hand anymore since he like had a blanket or something. I don't know. But so then we got the blanket, and then he held my hand and everything. I was like, I don't know what to do. And then we went to the bathroom, and then everything happened. So then we came back, and Mr. Boy, like, I kind of kept scooting away from him to hold my hand. And then he kind of held my hand again. He was doing like this, like touching my leg. I was like, literally stop. But I don't want to say stop. And then she was just like, just tell him I'm so glad we're here just as friends. And I'm like, no, I'm not going to say that while he's right there and while I just let him hold my hand. And she was like, oh, okay, fine. And I was like, she's like, you're just going to have to deal with it then. I was like, I know. But then one point he tried to like touch my leg, and I was like, nope. And so I like swished his little freaking arm away, and I was like, no, seriously, no. But I didn't say that. I was just like that, like. And then Maggie was like, hey, do you want to go to this like little shopping area next to it, because I'm getting kind of bored, and I work there, so I get a discount, because she was getting bored because she just saw the movie. And I was like, because I kind of wanted to go. And I was like, yeah. And she's like, ask your neighbor boy if he wants to go. And I was like, okay. And at first I thought she said we were just gonna go, and I was like, wait, we're gonna leave. And she's like, no. And I was like, oh, okay. Like, phew, like, because I'd be rude. Then I was like, dang it, just kidding. I was like, phew. Then I was like, but then he was like, sure. Like, I think he still wanted to finish the movie, so I kind of felt bad, but I did not want to be there anymore. And neither did Maggie. And her sister reminded that she was also there, and she didn't really want to be there either. And so then we just kind of left. So we went to a little shopping town, and then Maggie's sister was like, I'm gonna go home, and then you call me when you want me to pick you up. And we're like, okay. And so then we go to the shop, and then there was a bunch of kids from our school there, and we're like, what is everyone doing here today? It was like kind of crazy. And then after we just like said hi to some people, one of my school friends came up to us. She was like, who's this? And I was like, my neighbor. And I said his name, and then she was like, oh, okay. And then he said something after, but I didn't hear what he said, but I think like he said it funny, but then it wasn't funny, so I kind of felt bad for him for saying that, but it was fine. And then there was an ice cream shop, and so we went to the ice cream shop because I wanted ice cream, and then we got ice cream, and I paid for it this time, and then because he didn't get any first, so I guess that's why he didn't pay for me. Just kidding, he didn't have to. I paid for myself. But basically, after we got ice cream, we just walked around for a bit, and then Maggie was still probably gonna go over to the guy's house, even though he ghosted her, like, because she still wanted to kind of hang out with him. And I was like, bro, he ghosted you. I don't know why you still want to hang out with him. She was like, no, I kind of do. I was like, fine, you should take me. And she's like, yeah, I wanted to take you. And I was like, good. I was like, so he doesn't like go make out with you? And she's like, ha 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 ha, whatever, he won't do. And I was like, girl, yeah. But so basically, I knew that neighbor boy would ask me to hang out at his house after, and so we were kind of trying to make up an excuse so I wouldn't be able to, and like I had to go over to Maggie's house, and I was like, hey Maggie, when we get to my house, I have to give you a poster, because I also have to give her a poster for cheer, because we made like home of a cheerleader, and like from our school, so like people can know, I guess, like all the cheerleaders did that for each other. I guess it's something we do every year since. And then I was like, then I have to get the poms that I left at your house for like cheer, remember? She was like, oh yeah. She's like, you're such a bad liar. And I was like, I was like, no, literally not. Like, literally you are. But whatever, that's fine. And so then we're like, okay, we're ready to get picked up. And so her sister came and picked us up. Okay, I have to hurry. But basically then we get back into the car and then we drive home. And I'm like, okay, don't forget, I have to come over to pick up my poms and do all this stuff. And they're like, yeah, okay. And so then we get to my house, and I knew that he was gonna give me like some type of hug, and so he like gave me like, we got out, and then I was like, thanks for like coming with me, and I was like, kind of fun, and he was like, yeah, and I was like, okay, and then he was like, would you want to come over to my house? And I was like, I can't, I have to go over to Maggie's house and do stuff and whatever. And he was like, oh yeah, but like after? And I was like, yeah, maybe, but we like might hang out for a while and stuff like after, and like things like that. And I was like rambling, and he gives me a side hug, and I give him a side hug. I swear, if I was facing him, he would have given me a kiss on the lips, and I have not gotten my first kiss yet. I did not really want it to be him, so I was like, and then he gave me a side hug, and then he gave me like a freaking slobbery kiss on the cheek, and I was like, and then I walk in, and he was like, bye, and I was like, bye. And so I walk into my house, I go to grab the poster, but I stop by the bathroom and I kind of wash it off, so I like scrub it away, and I'm like, no thanks. Like I felt bad because yeah, but then I was like, yeah, like, you know, and then I grabbed the poster, and then we started going over to Maggie's house. I was like, Maggie, this just happened. She was like, oh, we thought he kissed you on the lips, and I was like, oh, I'm actually so happy he didn't. And so then we get into the car, and then we go to Maggie's house, and we just hang out there because she doesn't want to go over to his house anymore. And then we just play a challenge and get our minds off this like weird date thing. And yeah, and then he asked me to hang out again like the other day, and I was like, I can't, I'm hanging out with family, but I also was. But yeah, so I think I might break it to him that I don't see this ever happening, because I told my aunt about this, and she was like, yeah, you should just say it's fun to hang out with you, but I don't see this ever happening. And yeah, so I think I might just break it to him sometime soon. But yeah, if you're watching this, sorry, here's the truth. Okay, but anyways, thanks everyone for watching. Here's the final look, and I hope you all have a good day. Bye. Update, I just got home from school. Here's my like school fit. But basically, Mr. Bro, like Mr. Neighbor Guy, I was walking home and I did not want to talk to him much the next time on the bus, so I sat next to some of my friends, and then he like came up to me after the bus, and he was like, hey, can you like hang out? And I was like, no, because I have a cheer thing, and I actually did have a cheer thing, but it's not as long as I said. So just like a physical exam for like my doctors to make sure I could do cheer. I have to do it every year. But basically, one of my guy friends was like, you should just put in headphones because then he won't talk to you. But he did talk to me, and so yeah. And then he like walked me to my house a little bit, but I put in my headphones, and then he like tapped me, and he was like, so just like tell me when you're free. And I was like, yeah, okay. And then he tried to give me a hug and another kiss, and he like gave me a hug. He was going to go in for the kiss, and I went, please, I do not want to be kissed again. No, thank you. And so then he went, oh, okay. So he just gave me a side hug and he left. And I was like, but yeah, I was like shaking the whole entire bus ride. Like just my hands. I was like, I don't know. But yeah. Guys, I literally have another update for you with Neighbor Boy. Okay. So basically today is April 16th and I go to school after cheer because I have cheer in the morning for one of my classes. And I go to school and one of my friends, one of my school friends come up to me and they're like, hey, do you like blah, 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 and they say his name, and I'm like, what? No, what do you mean? And she's like, oh, what? Basically, he's telling everyone that you guys are basically like a thing, and then you guys made out at the movies. And I'm like, what? So Mr. Neighbor Boy is spreading around rumors that we did that, and so keep in mind, I didn't text him that, like, we're not a thing, like, right now. And so then, basically, I texted him that. I'm like, no, I'm texting him this right now. And then he saw it at, like, 1, and he hasn't said anything back, and I don't know what happened. So, just stay tuned. But, yeah. Okay, well, I'm editing this right now with my bubble braid, and yes, I have to show it or else I look bald. Just kidding. But basically, the next day after I texted him that, like, we're never, ever gonna be a thing, I'll input the photo right here. Like, Maggie went in later to school, and then Mr. Neighbor Boy was in front of her in line to, like, get checked in, and he saw her, and he was like, and they gave her, like, a mad glare or whatever, and Maggie told me, and I was like, and I was like, oh my gosh. And so then, Mr. Neighbor Boy, today, I went home, and I, like, speed the frick home, because he got off my bus, and I was like, no way. So, like, freaking walked home super fast. But yeah, if I have any more updates, because I don't think I will, I'll tell you guys. But yeah, I have some more story times later, because I do have a little itty bitty crush on someone, not on Neighbor Boy. Don't ship me with him, guys, you silly people. Don't, because I already have enough people doing that to me at school, because they're just making fun of me. But yeah. And yes, I'm going to do more story times for you guys, because they're actually so much fun to film and edit for you guys, everything. And plus, I'm going to get better at editing, so I can actually post them faster. Also, that's a 10K, but my 0 fell down. But yeah, and thank you so much for 15K, guys. Like, what? That's so amazing. Like, I can't wrap my head around that. Thank you so much. But anyways, thanks all for watching. Love you, bye.